Hey everybody, welcome to Delve In Talk Show. I'm one of your hosts, Loren Molloy.
And I'm Jess Pallitto. How you doing?
Guys, it is the Tuesday before New Year's Eve, so happy New Year's Eve to everyone.
Happy New Year.
Ooh, and my phone dings, so you know the universe is cheering us on. And it's even more special because we have Dr. Juan Torres. How are you, dear
Dang.
man?
We
Good, good.
are
Thank
official
you.
now.
We are official. Thank you. Good. Thank you for having me, Loren. I appreciate it.
You're absolutely welcome. So how many years has it been? I know we've been trying to figure it out that you and I have known each other. Is it like 6 now? What is it?
I think we've known each other almost 6 years. Yeah, because you knew me when I had first started in Chinese medicine, and I was doing the Reiki and the spiritual readings and stuff out in Bayshore. So yeah, it's been a while.
Wow.
Oh, so
So
you did
before we get
spiritual
into
readings at
anything,
all?
I got to do my usual stuff. I know I interrupted both of you, but
No, it's
guys,
my bad.
no.
I get
Guys,
excited
please
and then I'm like,
remember that we have the video live right now. So the reason I'm stopping everybody is please make sure that you click into the Delve In live video right now so that you could say hello. Please make sure you like the page, follow it, turn those notifications on, share that video around into all your groups and things like that. Because the more the merrier. And here's why I also stopped both of them. We're about to find out all the great stuff that Dr. Juan Torres does, but you're going to want to be able to comment. And the only way to do that is by commenting on this video itself. So the more the merrier, the more questions, the better. And please make sure you liked and shared the page. That way we can move forward. We already have viewers. Hello, please comment. Let us know who you are, where you're from, how your New Year's Eve is going on this Tuesday. I know it's a little early, but gotta start early, right? So now let's go back to our regular scheduled program. And Dr. Juan Torres, please do tell us about yourself. Yeah.
So you actually met me when I was doing the readings and the energy work out in Bayshore, and that's how we got started. And we got the universe put us together. And I think I had just started Chinese medicine school when we met.
Yeah.
Like it was the beginning stages of it. Yeah, I think Jess, you were gonna ask me a question about that. That I do. Yeah, that's how I started my spiritual journey, was through getting certified in Reiki, and then naturally, when you get into the energy healing stuff, you're in other people's energy fields, so you start feeling things. Part of a lot of people are empathic, so part of the gift of being a healer, whether it be Western medicine or Eastern medicine, any kind of medicine, is your empathic ability starts to awaken, thus your intuitive nature. And whether you believe in spirituality or not, everyone has an intuition. It's been proven. So, and it's just, to what magnitude did we have that? Mine came in the form of being able to do energy healing on people, touching them and feeling like different things going on in their body. I'm very hands-on. I believe as humans, we need to be hands-on. I mean, if a person doesn't like that, you don't violate their space. But the Corona has taught us how much we need that from one another. So that's how it started, Jess. I got into like Reiki, and from falling, I used to work on Wall Street. Surprisingly enough, I worked for the trading desk for Deutsche Bank. Yeah, and then I fell, and the chiropractor introduced me to acupuncture, and that's how my journey started. From there was having a fall that I thought I like hurt a vertebrae or shifted, and a chiropractor had said no. That's not what's going on with you. What's actually going on with you is that your muscles had spazzed and they won't relax. So he recommended me to his best friend who had a niece and a nephew who did acupuncture, and I was getting acupuncture. And then, like in 3 treatments, it's like the pain went away. So,
nice.
yeah, so I kept going to acupuncture and massage therapy. And over time, there was a massage therapist who did Reiki on me. And I said, "Are you doing something different in this massage? Because there's like a radiating heat coming out of your hand." And me being ignorant at the time to all these spiritual things, he had said, "Yeah, I'm doing Reiki," and I made a joke. Because I said, "What is that? Like a Chinese dish or something?" Not
Does that have
knowing,
curry in it?
yeah. So he started laughing, and he's like, "No, it's an energy healing modality, and I really think you should check it out. I think your energy field is giving me that this is something that you should really look into." And that's what I did. I went and got another private session for like an hour of just getting Reiki, and the woman had revealed some stuff to me that I was like, you know what? I need to learn this. I need to learn this. And surprisingly enough, I don't know what it is with Long Island and me. I have this relationship with Long Island. The woman who did my Reiki master level training was in Long Island.
Do you
Yes.
remember? Can you tell us her name just in case anybody's interested in like maybe looking her up?
She actually passed away. Like,
Oh,
yeah.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I'm
And
sorry.
I wish that she was here because her style of because when you get Reiki certified, you get attunements into it.
Yeah.
And hers was great. She did like this whole like Divine Mother Mary channeling for people, but she passed.
Ooh, that's
Yeah,
great.
she went back to spirit. So unfortunately, yeah.
Well, that means she's a light soldier on the spiritual side for all of us. So that's epic by itself. We need her on that. So that's good stuff.
So that was my journey into that. So Jess, did you have a question before I say anything?
No, you were talking about that being the beginning of your spiritual awakening, and every person that we have on this show, I'm like, I got to get my shit together because I'm on this path and I'm not working at it. And you're like, you identified that you're going through it and you're like, I got to learn this and I'm going to move forward with it. And I've been really lazy. So it's
That's
just a reminder that
yeah.
I got to get my butt moving.
Yeah, that's a good thing to like bring up because that's also how I got into Chinese medicine was because part of the healing had started awakening me to different aspects of myself. Because people think when we, Chinese medicine, what they're trying to do now with it is it's called TCM or traditional Chinese medicine. So that's very biomedicine based, dealing with physical conditions that Western medicine is treating or needs an adjunct therapy to help it. It's been around much longer than Western medicine. Western medicine is a kind of like a segue of Chinese medicine. So they were here before we even had our Western medicine here. But we're trying to integrate the two medicines because when they're put together or you have a person who's dealing with Western medicine as a condition or a treatment to what they're going through, and you add in Chinese or Ayurvedic or energy healing, the synergy in those two medicines is so powerful that
Mhm.
that people heal better, they recover better. There's less side effects from medicines they take, or even chemotherapy patients who are dealing with that. They get Reiki right away, and they're
True.
noticing that their white blood cells spike faster. They have less side effects. But for you to bring up the awakening aspect is you always want to get back to the fact that you're a spiritual being having a physical experience, and it's very true. All of these medicines provide that for you. Not only do they allow you to heal, but they allow that spirit soul aspect of you to be in this embodiment and dealing with whatever lessons you have signed up for yourself. And it's unfortunate that when we do deal, and I'm going to talk medicine because this, it's what I do. So when we encounter a physical condition that we decided in this lifetime I'm going to experience this condition, nobody wants to have cancer, nobody wants to have um migraines, nobody wants to suffer from depression. These are not things that we say we want in the physical body that we want to experience, but there's some soul contract or some soul journey that we decided we were going to experience this. However harsh these lessons may be, we sign up for them. And it's the hardest lesson that we have because acknowledging that and finding the balance of how do you get back to what we call homeostasis is the hardest part for most of us because it's not taught to us. What we're taught is you have a condition, take this pill, or you have a condition, get this surgery. And not that that's wrong, but for me, Chinese medicine, when I fell from my back, it was, hey, look, you don't have to pop a pill for the pain. Let me use these needles. And it was a Western medicine doctor who recommended it. You know what I mean? So now we're trying to do that more nowadays is integrate the two medicines because there's more power when they work synergistically. And I had wished that we were further along in consciousness where it was something that it was like, hey, you're sick? Oh, I have a Chinese medicine doctor and I have a Western medicine doctor. So because with Corona and what we're going through now with seeing these viruses and these super bugs come out that are like attacking us, people will have more of an arsenal to fight these things or use more than just one modality when they can use the synergy of the two and have a better chance at overcoming a circumstance or disease, this ease within the body, because that's what disease is. It's just your body's off and you have to give it what it needs so that it can heal itself. I tell people all the time when they come to me, I'm not healing you. Your body is healing itself. I'm holding the space and the tools that your body needs, what it needs to do what it does normally. And that's heal and be in balance and harmony with nature. And that's what Chinese medicine knows about. They talk about the 5 elements. So we work off of the five. We do a lot of things off of 5 elements, and we have this whole thing that they teach us. It's like wood, metal, earth, fire, and earth, or wood, metal, fire, water, earth. Yeah. So it's the 5
Yeah.
elements. Some say 6 because they add ether into it, but it's 5 elements.
And ether is like spirit, right?
Spirit.
All
Spirit.
right.
And
So-
tell me,
oh.
I'm sorry.
I heard balancing chi.
Yeah.
You know, that helps your body heal itself?
Isn't she so cute? I'm sorry.
She did,
Just
she
had to
did her
interrupt.
homework. She did her homework.
Right? She's so accurate.
Ready. Yeah. So what people hear the word chi and they think like martial arts and stuff, that kind of thing. Martial arts, qigong, tai chi. Yeah. But everybody has an energetic system within their body. We call it chi. Translated, energy.
Oh, okay.
In Western medicine, it would be considered the electrical impulses within your body.
Oh.
So what happens is that we're each an electrical system working. And what happens is that when chi is blocked or energy is not flowing correctly, you get stagnation. And what does stagnation do? It causes inflammation, pain, anxiety, depression, sickness. So what we do is we, as Chinese medicine doctors, we move that chi, or we use that chi to our benefit. The needles are used to manipulate the chi that's running in these meridians through the body.
And
So
just time out for a second. These needles, they don't actually hurt, right? I want to clarify that for people, because people hear that word and it's like a trigger response and they want to shut down. We're saying something that people wouldn't even feel. If you said it was a feather, it'd probably be the same kind of thing. It's just what it's used as, right? I just want to clarify it so people don't flee away from the thought of it.
Can I step away from the camera for just 1 second so we can get one to show them?
Yeah,
Oh, sure.
absolutely. Go ahead. Love it.
That's
See
a good
why I
idea.
love this man? Oh my God. Like, platonically love, because how great his energy is, how great his information is. And just, this is how I healed my brain and my hips. This was literally like, he was doing stuff. I was paying attention. I learned how to do Reiki. And then I just kept following stuff he was talking about and trying to do my own research. That's why I just sit here like nodding my head at him, because I'm like, oh, go ahead.
Reiki
Go
is
ahead.
the only thing that healed my herniated, I thought my whole back issue. It's the only thing. I mean, nothing against physical therapy, but I mean,
All right.
No,
help.
Show them
physical
what
therapy
it looks like.
Yeah, physical therapy is great. Not only does it heal your body, but it allows you to use, and it moves chi just like acupuncture does. Acupuncture is not the only thing that moves chi. Physical therapy does. Massage does. There's one profession that you'll find as you get to know me that I have a lot of respect for, are massage therapists, because it's manual. They're moving your body, they're moving your chi, and they're helping you heal, even though it's more for us, like we see massage as a relaxation. It's a therapy. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So to get back to what we were saying with the needles, this is what the body looks. This is what the meridians look like on the body, right?
Right.
This is what we would learn all these points in our school. It's like a lot. It's like 365 days of the year, but there's a lot more because it's Tibetan acupuncture style, or what they call the points, the nadis. There's like thousands, and they refer to them as mini chakra points on the body.
Ooh,
so you're basically taking a chakra point that's off, and you're adjusting it and making it flow with the right chi or the right energy. So with the needles, we can fit about 10. I say about maybe 10 needles inside a hypodermic needle. So the needle that they take your blood, we can fit 10 of them inside that needle point because they're so thin. They're like a hair. So you see this? You see how hard it is to see this?
Oh my God. So the thing you're holding that you can see,
I see.
wow, look at that.
So
Yeah.
Yeah, it's so thin, and it's
It
like
looks like an actual hair, like an old person hair.
It's a little hair. And it doesn't.
People, sorry.
The only reason why people get sensations from this is, like I told you, remember, you're an energy body.
Right.
So naturally, if somebody pokes you, even if they just do this, you're gonna feel it. So the needle penetrates that energy system into a point that's on a meridian. You have meridians that are for each of the organs of the body. You have the stomach, you have the kidneys, you have the spleen, you have the large intestine, you have the liver. We have stuff for the brain. We have stuff for like the pancreas. We have the gallbladder. And the crazy thing is, you would think, oh, I have stomach meridian. It should be only on the stomach because that's where the stomach's at, right? No, actually, these meridians, they for example, the stomach starts in the face and goes through the face and down the body, down the legs.
What? So if it hurts here, this could be my stomach?
Yeah, if there's something going on here, right? You might have a condition going on in your stomach. or it may be the food you're eating. You may be off because you're eating foods that's affecting your stomach, and then you start what? Breaking out.
What do you?
Yeah.
Oh,
You
right.
start breaking out.
Yeah.
Flush face, when people eat spicy food that they're allergic to, the stomach reacts to it and it shows in the face. Your face is a map for what's going on in your body. Each of the organs are displayed on the face.
What's flank pain?
Flank does flank is like this area. Flank.
I have flank pain.
Like where the ribs
Yeah.
are?
It's only on one side.
It's usually related to the liver, like the liver channel. So it's like the liver channel, but you can also get the stomach because the stomach channel comes down the body. It actually goes through the nippies. So it's like so women who are suffering from like lactation issues or breast issues, we use the stomach and the large intestine or small intestine channel a lot because these channels work a lot of that. But definitely because the stomach goes right through the breast area. Yeah.
Wow.
Actually through the nipple. Yeah. So it's kind of hard because we have points on the chest, and with acupuncture, I don't want to say it's easier on guys, but it's less invasive
Yeah.
because if I want a needle like the point here, the pericardium point that's here on the side of the chest, with a guy I just move it over, but with a girl you can't just do that. You get what I'm saying?
I would immediately be like, what the with all these needles.
Yeah. This is why we try to, and sorry women, I say girls because I don't mean it disrespectfully.
I always say girls too. It's like harder to say woman, you know?
And I don't want anyone to be offended. I'm not old.
Like I feel like if that's what we're gonna nitpick, they need to find better hobbies.
Yeah, no.
Like,
I think it's just harder to form the word woman. It's just easier to say girl. Like it just
plus I feel like it's more sassy. I'd be like, listen, girl, versus like if
yeah. Oh, come on.
We're in another like if that makes the eyebrows do the opposite, which means that's bad face. Woman.
Yeah, so no. We have no gender biases here. We're open to everyone. Yeah. So that's how it works. We needle the points on the body, and they give the brain a message. The brain then sends a signal. Hey, look, you're not doing your job, or here, I want you to do this job, and it sends a signal to that area of the body or the organ, and then the body responds. So there's a lot of dopamine and serotonin release in the brain when we use the body.
I need help there.
There's that sense of relaxation. So we do our map, and we use that, and we change things around with a little bit of movement of chi. So these highways that are running through your body, these meridians, don't stay blocked, don't cause stagnation, don't cause pain, don't cause disorder within your body.
Wow. That is so cool. I wish that's something that we could do like through a video, like right now. I would be like, I'm trying not to move. I would be so happy.
Yeah. Where are you located? Where do you work out of?
I'm in Soho in Manhattan. So
okay.
That's where my office is at. So I have my space here in Manhattan. We do, acupuncture, we do travel for people who can't travel. So me and Loren and I, we were just talking about maybe doing an event where I come out and do auricular acupuncture. It's harder to do a big event and needle the body. That's also it's kind of like when a person's getting their body needle, they kind of want the privacy of just having their own moment. So we usually what we do is there's a whole acupuncture system in the ear. Yes. The French,
Loren and I were talking about that.
Yeah, the French people, they really took it to another level, and they researched it, and there's a whole system where you can just needle someone in the ear. There's a whole system in the hand. There's a whole system in the foot. That's why you see these people getting these foot massages and these foot detox, because the foot has so many pores and organs that can be treated through the foot. So what we do is when we do an event,
foot detoxes actually work where it
I was so thinking that.
Or is this some like bullshit con?
You talk about the ionic ones?
Girl, I don't know. You were reading my mind.
No, you'll see like people soaking their feet, and all of a sudden the water turns like murky brown, orange, or something.
The ions. It's positive and negative ions. You can't think I think it's an exaggeration of what's going on, but it definitely works. I've done them. It definitely works. Because what it's doing, it's a magnetic field. You're a positive ion, that's a negative ion. So one is just attracting something to it.
Is it kind of like an Epsom salt bath that you would sit in?
I do foot detoxes at my office with Tibetan herbs that basically you'd be like, well, why am I not taking this herb in my body to heal my body, right? Yeah. But what we don't realize is that I do a foot where the water's really hot. It's not burning you, but it's hot enough when you put it in, you're like, oh, wow, this is really hot. It opens up the pores, and the herbs, instead of ingesting them, go through the pores of the feet into the body. And we've had someone we did it on this guy who he was so needle afraid. And I showed him the needle. I'm like, look how little. He's like, no, 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 no. So we did the foot detox on him. He had pain for years, like I would say like 10 years. And it got to a point where the medicines weren't working for him anymore. And we did the foot detox on him. He bought a bag, took it home, did the foot detox. He called us the following Friday. It was a Friday. He called us the following Friday. He's like, I don't know what's in those herbs, but for the first time in years, I have no pain.
Oh, yay.
So they were doing what Jess talked about. They were moving chi, they were moving blood within the body, they were nourishing the body, giving it what it needed through the pores of the feet to do the job that it needed to do, and that was heal.
That's awesome.
Okay.
See why like I love like researching herbs and stuff like that. I know like we're not on a side topic, but like I started researching all sorts of herbs that you could also add when you smoke. So like everyone knows that I take cannabis as one of the forms of medication for me. And I looked into things like mullein, Mullein, that you can add that's supposed to help clear your lungs out. And I was telling that to some of my cigarette smoker friends. I was like, you roll your own anyway, just add it in. Maybe it'll help your lungs. Like, so I started seeing all these herbs that you could either add to water, like you were saying, and soak in, or like ingest. They're supposed to do stuff. And I'm like, the wonderful world of herbs. Like, this is fascinating.
Talking about that, I actually, when I went to school for acupuncture, I got acupuncture. A master's in acupuncture is the longest degree in the country. So usually a master's degree is only 2 years. When I was going to school, acupuncture, to get a master's in acupuncture, because it is Western medicine included into the program. So you're learning Western medicine and you're learning Eastern medicine. Wow, it's 4 years to get a degree in acupuncture. 4 years. Wow. And you can either get the degree integrated with herbs in the United States, so you do acupuncture and herbs simultaneously, or you do what I'm doing. It's kind of like getting a second master's, but it's a certification and it just changes my degree. You separate the two. I separated the two, and I got my master's in acupuncture, which is being upgraded because I'm in the herbal program right now. So instead of my degree right now is MSAC, which is a master's of acupuncture, I'm going to have an MSTOM, which is a master's of traditional Oriental medicine. Yeah, and I also
a round of applause because that is difficult work.
Yeah, and I also got my doctorate in it as well. So I finished my doctorate, and now so
congratulations, baby. Seriously.
We do formula, like we prescribe single herbs on occasion for different things, but mostly what we prescribe with herbs are formulas. So it's a combination of different herbs that work differently. One herb will bring the actual main herb to where it needs to go, and another herb will nourish you, while another herb will cool the formula down so it's not too hot. So it's like it's a whole process. We try to tell people, don't self-diagnose with Chinese herbs. You want to see somebody, because what Jess and I will both have the same condition. We'll both have, let's say, migraines, right?
Right.
The herbal formula that she will get will be different from the herbal formula that I will get. That's where we differ from Western medicine. With our medicine, we don't give the same formula for everybody.
Right, everybody gets the same pills for anxiety over there. Like,
but Western medicine is learning that. They're learning that, one, they can't prescribe the same pills for everybody, and two, it can't be the same dosage.
Right, so right.
Yeah, that's why epigenetics has become a big thing, because they're learning how will you react and your genes, as opposed to how will Jess react to the same medication in her genes. Do I give her less because she's going to react this way, or do I give you more because you need it? You know what I mean?
Right.
Medicine is.
How do you figure that out? Is there like a test we take? Like, is it like you just?
We look at your tongue. We look at your tongue when we do these things, and your pulse, and that's why we're like, oh, well, you're deficient here. Jess is chi deficient, so she needs more chi. Where Loren decided she was going to have cheese and milk and all these dairy things. Her condition is more of a damp condition. So what I would do with you is I would adjust the dampness within your body and transform it. Where with Jess, I would just nourish chi, so she's not so chi deficient. So you see how it's different, and how one formula is not going to work with each of you the same. You might get the better.
Take insurance?
I do take insurance.
I do.
Yeah, I do. I do take insurance.
Yes, we're gonna do like a car ride together. I know
we're going to. I'll meet you.
Yeah, dude, I'm gonna figure out how to rent a hotel right now, and we'll have an event somewhere. All right, Jess. On top of everything else I'm doing, I'm gonna add this to my schedule of things, dear.
Yeah,
we're gonna have to make that happen.
All your information, like before we part. I mean, I guess it's on your Facebook page,
It's
but
also on the
It-
link that's scrolling on the bottom of the page, everybody. The website is
okay.
there, just so we know. He's also on Instagram
Mhm.
and Facebook.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Instagram is the best for me because I
Okay,
love
better. Okay.
because for me Instagram is not my page. It's Emia Wellness's page for you guys to see what I'm doing. How I'm gonna post a video up of me doing an. I was a little bit iffy about this video because I was doing what was called an energetic clearing. So someone was doing and I'm not gonna ask for forgiveness because people want to hear this. Someone was doing black magic on someone and they didn't know how to clear it, so I had to go in and do the reverse. And they went to a Western medicine doctor. This is someone very dear to me, someone I love. And I kept telling the person, let me work on you. I know what this is. And I told them, there's like a knife in your back and I see it and you need to do this. And they were like, well, let me do all these scans with Western medicine. And I was like, do that, because then what's going to happen is that I'll be able to prove that there was nothing physical wrong with you. And then when I do,
Good.
yeah.
That's a
So
good one.
so they went to the doctor. They got all the exams. The doctor was like, "There's nothing physically wrong with you. I don't know why
You're
you have."
crazy, right? I
So
always
it was for a year. They had the pain for a year, and another spiritual person told them, "Juan is the only person that's going to be able to help you with this. So you need to go get this treatment, right?" So I stopped pushing the person after a while. So they finally came in. I did this and I recorded it. I did this treatment for them, and my grandmother, she passed away along with, but she's one of my spirit guides. She
Yeah.
told me what I needed to do, and I did it. And I know this. Most people are going to be like, well, he's a doctor. Why is he talking about spirituality? Because you are a spiritual being having a physical experience.
Yes.
Never take advantage, or no, excuse me, never take a position or where you take a disadvantage and not acknowledge that part of you that's special. And
Yep.
that's the spiritual being who wants to know what it means to be human and is going to experience these physical conditions. So I went in, I did my thing. I did some cupping, but I also did and some acupuncture, and I did the spiritual thing. It's been now almost 2 months, and the person said they haven't had any pain, almost forgot that they had the pain,
Good.
and was like, it's just gone. It's just
Good.
so I use my IG page to show people the different things that I do. I don't limit myself to just acupuncture. I love acupuncture. It's a powerful medicine, but I also incorporate sound therapy, crystal healing. I do the Reiki on people. And if my patient comes in and their guides decide to come through and want to give them a message, I'm telling them what they need to hear. I don't hold back. It's not about, for me, treatment is not about, oh, come in, pay me money and, let me support myself. Yeah, that's part of it because, there's an exchange, and there's, we work on a monetary system, but it's also about you getting the best care possible so that I know when you leave, you're okay, whether it be energetically, physically, emotionally, spiritually. I have a minor degree in psychology, so I'm like big on people being mentally balanced because you can't operate when that's off. And that goes for like just depression, anxiety on a physical level, or just spiritual. I call it spiritual depression and anxiety. People who don't even know what's going on and they're having this spiritual awakening or this transformation of spirit. I mean, we're in the age of Aquarius now. So we've moved from the Piscean age. We moved from the Piscean age where it was a very male dominated society. And not that there's anything wrong with that, but we've had enough of that. And it's time for the women to like do their part or do what they're supposed to do and what they came in here. And that's to teach us lessons that the feminine energy is very powerful, just as well as the masculine energy. And what the feminine, and it's not saying that I'm not taking a stance of like, oh, women are the best women, because yes, they are, point blank. That's not even a question. It's more of like, we've had the male energy, let's add the female energy in it, which is about healing and transformation and love and motherhood and this nurturing energy, and combine the two to where we can. That's what a shaman does. A medicine doctor, a shaman who's a medicine doctor, a seer, a healer. They take divine feminine, divine masculine. They use both energies, and they do that to travel to the underworld and get like these answers to these diseases and stuff like that. But it's time. The divine feminine energy is going to teach us how to be more holistic, how to be more spiritual, how to get back to the roots. When women were teaching us that we lived off the earth and we knew what the herbs did, we knew what the foods were doing in our body. So we've mastered the masculine energy. So now we're mastering the feminine energy. And this goes
So true.
this goes for guys and women, girls. This goes for guys and girls alike. It's not about, oh, one is better than the other. No, we need each other. You know what I mean?
Binary, no matter what category you feel is appropriate for you, this is for all of us. And you're right, because you know how we're in a feminine age now. I have earrings, I wear dresses, I have gone from wearing my shit kicking boots to all of a sudden I'm gonna put makeup on and wear pretty earrings. Like literally, I made that decision, and now we're in the age of Aquarius. I'm like, well, I mastered that, I guess.
Mhm.
So Juan, I have a psychology degree as well. I went to John Jay. If you're in New York City, you know where John Jay is. Yeah. So the whole female and male thing, and we had another guest on the show. She's told us that spirit's going to help you as a human balance your female male aspects. But I don't know if you agree, but even Loren was saying, she was more on the masculine side. But I remember in my preteen days feeling like being more masculine was more attractive.
Mhm.
But as I got older, a little bit more mature and comfortable with being a woman, I became more feminine.
Mhm.
And then now I'm approaching 40, and like things like that really don't matter to me. And I feel like I've balanced out. But I think that as humans, or maybe it is psychology, we kind of are playing with that back and forth in our lives naturally.
Yep.
Is that something that you would agree with, or?
I totally agree. And
Yeah.
we balance, when we do energy work, or we do spiritual work, or we do any kind of work. We have even in Chinese medicine, we have a yin and a yang. Yin is female, yang is male, right? So you're always balancing the masculine, and everybody has that masculine and feminine energy within them. It's not to say you're demasculating yourself by saying you have feminine energy. No, you're honoring the fact that you're a being experiencing two energies that combine to become this powerful force for healing, divinity, consciousness. Even in psychology, when we treat people, you kind of, and if you're treating someone who's transgender, you have to learn which one they're balancing out, or which one they need to balance out, or because a transgender person feels one way when they're sitting in another
That's
energy.
got to be the most confusingly painful situation. I could never imagine. So, being on that topic for just a hot second, anybody that in the audience may have a suggestion. I'm on the phone with people a lot. And when I was brought up to be respectful to adults or other humans, I said, yes, ma'am, and yes, sir. I want to know, or if somebody can coin another phrase that could be neutral, gender neutral, that we are respectfully addressing someone.
You mean besides
Instead of
how are
saying
you?
yes, ma'am, or yes, sir, I mean, like you can't say yes,
we,
human.
we should respond to each other as beloved.
Okay, so check it out. If I'm at work, I don't know how someone's gonna take that.
That's the thing. Think about it. Think about how this is part of the problem with our health as well. We've taken on one consciousness, like, oh my God, we become hypochondriacs a lot of times. Like, I don't want to get this, or I don't want to get that, or I don't want to get this. Instead of thinking, I'm going to be super healthy for the rest of my life, and God forbid, heaven forbid, universe forbid, spirit forbid, if I get something, I'm okay. You know why? Because I'm a spiritual being, I'm powerful, and I can cure myself, and I have the people, or the healers and everything at my disposal to heal my body, to know that healing takes place, to know that Western medicine is going to help me, Eastern medicine, whatever modality that, and not just Chinese medicine, but Ayurvedic and all the other different modalities that are out there can heal me. So the problem becomes is that if I call you beloved at work, it's like, okay, why are you calling me that? And it's
Sexual harassment, like it's.
But if you think of like beloved, like, or when people say namaste, when a person says namaste, it's saying the higher self in me is recognizing the higher self in you.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, it's honoring the higher divine person in you by saying namaste. You're right. We need to know how to like address one another and treat one another in treatments, because when I treat you, you should be a soul that I'm treating who's coming in that needs a doctor to hold space for whatever healing modality we're going to use in that moment. And sometimes I feel like when we go to get our checkups and everything, we're just another person, and it's like okay,
Get
next.
lost, in that. in that crowd.
And we're losing that because back in the days, your doctor knew you, you knew your doctor and stuff like that. And it was a family thing.
Yeah, now they get paid more. They think you are considered a better doctor if you see more patients within an hour than if you took your time to get to know your patient and their problems, and
Yeah.
you took like maybe 2 or 3 an hour. You
Yeah.
aren't considered a good doctor. Oh, I was told that by another doctor.
Yeah.
That he's considered a better doctor if he sees more people within an hour.
Yeah,
And
that
just
has to do with
seems
like
awful.
security claims and stuff. But you did ask a really good question. I'm just interjecting because I got stuck thinking about it. It's like the yes sir, yes ma'am thing
Yeah.
with non-binary and all the other stuff. And you're right, we have to speak with love and stuff like that. But at the same point, I realized that I was doing the same stuff. I'll be like, yes sir, and people will get mad, and I'm like,
Right? Because some
and
women have
one
deeper
guy was
voices.
like, that's like something only my girlfriend or my wife should be saying to me. And I was like, I was taught, like, if I didn't say that, I would get hit.
Oh, no. Yeah, that was disrespectful if you didn't.
That's another weird point where all of a sudden I'll be like, yes, sir. Oh, ew. Oh. I just
They're
want
like,
to do
hey, I'm
So
only in my 30s. Like, chill. It wasn't about that.
And you can't be like, hey, homie, how are you? It's not really going to go well.
For us Latinos, we hug everybody. And it's not, you know what I mean? That's just our thing. And, I had to learn, you can't do that everywhere. You know what I mean? So,
yeah, if people kind of come up and try to hug me, I'm usually like karate moving at them. I'm like, why are we?
You're like, I'm doing this in a loving way.
Obviously, Juan, like you do it. I'm like, hi, honey. I think it's also like we can feel the intention very often. Like if somebody doesn't want to be hugged, you can tell.
Oh,
and then if you're forcing it anyway, we're not talking about whether you like being hugged or not. We're talking about the consent factor not being respected versus just like, I'm a huggy person.
People
like,
get offended over the smallest
thing. That's where it really is. It's like, I'm going to wave at you because your energy is yucky, so don't let it touch me. Versus like, oh, you're a hugger. Yay. Like, I feel like that's such a different kind of like,
It's consciousness. It's all about consciousness and where we are. It's part of the reason why we haven't mastered telepathic abilities. It's because of the fact that everybody has their secrets, and you don't want if it's telepathic, I know what you're thinking, you know what I'm thinking. So it's like, nope, I don't want you to know. And it's like, wait, but we need to talk. Wait, no, I don't want you to know. So
it's true.
I tell people all the time, cell phones are the closest thing to telepathy. Because think about it, you're communicating with somebody without a cord,
right?
Without being in the room. You could be in Japan, they're over here in the United States, and you're having a conversation in that moment.
Hey, listen, my phone knows what I'm thinking, and I swear I haven't said some of the things that I thought about and I saw as an ad, and I'm like, this motherfucker, he's seeing my eyes. Like, what am I seeing? Like,
your phone's name is Siri.
Yeah, you're right.
I'm like, how did you know? Yeah. I didn't tell anybody I was thinking of this, and then all of a sudden it comes up.
And it's true too what you're saying, because like when I was young, I was dating somebody who also was like had his own abilities, and like there'd be moments where I'm like, does he know right now what I'm thinking? I am not thinking.
Well, at that point, it's all over your face.
Yeah, so it's all about balance and like getting to a society where we're like you guys say, we're gender neutral, we're emotion neutral, we're just honoring everything and everybody's highest form of themselves, where judgment becomes something like it's almost obsolete. It no longer exists because we don't see that anymore. We don't cast judgments. We more or less are there for one another. Yeah. That's what medicine about. Medicine, we try so hard to be like that. A person comes in with a condition, you don't want to see a condition. I always want to see a spirit, a person coming in who needs help. And it's my job to find the closest thing to balance for them, to help them get back to that. Like I said, the yin and yang aspect. How do we get yin and yang in perfect balance? You guys know the symbol. I forget. Oh my God, I should know the name of this. My colleagues are gonna kill me.
The half white with the dot and the half.
Oh my God, that's yin and yang, but I forget what the symbol's called. But that symbol
yin
tells
yang.
Yin, yeah, you say yang. Yeah, people say yeah. Some people say yang. I say yang. It's either. Don't worry.
I thought that was the actual symbol.
Yeah, but I'm saying that the symbol with it has like the thing and has white and black, and there's like with the white there's the black dot, and with the black
that's not called the yin yang symbol.
It's something else. It is.
Oh, okay.
Something I couldn't. We're gonna call it
T-A-I-J-I-T-U.
Say it again.
Taijitu is a symbol or diagram in Chinese philosophy representing the Taiji in both the monist and dualist aspects. Such diagram is first introduced by Song Dynasty philosopher Zhong. I'm not saying that. I'm not going to disrespect any of those names.
Okay, so that symbol. So that symbol teaches us that there's yin and yang, or yang, like Jess said,
Like that.
and
Sorry.
everything, right? So within yin, within that symbol, within the white part, you see the black dot, and within the black part, you see the white dot. So they're telling you that within yin, there's yang, and within yang, there's yin. One cannot exist without the other. So the whole thing, we cannot exist without each other. Like, who really wants to be alone on a planet just by themselves?
Right.
A person might say that, but when you get down to the nitty gritty and you find out why, there's always that sense of the reason why I want to be alone is because of these and if those situations, and just, you know, as a psychiatrist, psychologist, or studying that, when you really get down and you really research why a person is the way they are, there's something that led up to that. That if
no doubt. Yep.
if these things hadn't happened, they wouldn't be like that.
Right. And that's why it's so hard to diagnose now, because there's so many different confounding variables.
Yeah. So the variables always bring somebody. So yeah, we in Chinese medicine, what we do is we try to use the needles to create that balance in the system. Mostly it's balancing yin and yang within the body, qi and blood. So we say there's different elements. There's yin, yang, qi and blood, and the humors or the fluids within the body. Some people,
I love the word humors. I'm sorry. I just had to interject.
So the humors in the body. So we try to balance it so that way you can have the closest thing to homeostasis and balance. Most people are like, oh, is this going to feel good in one treatment? We can't promise that because sometimes you've had a condition for years. So we have to work with you and like go through the process of retraining the body, what normalcy is, and just healing. Sometimes people have sporadic, like they have one treatment, they're like, oh my God, I feel great. And I've had people who did. I've had other people who have taken like 3 treatments, 6 treatments, sometimes 12, but it happens. I had one patient who, she was having back pain. She's a good friend of mine, and we've been friends for 20 years. And I didn't know she had this. She could barely wipe her butt when she went to the bathroom. I didn't know this. And I'm in school. I'm like, why didn't you tell me while I was in school and interning? So you could have came and be one of my patients while I was an intern. Her excuse was, I wanted to be your first patient in the office. And guess what? She was my first patient in the office, and she still is my patient.
Wow.
She loves acupuncture. And within it was like maybe 6 treatments later, she's able to wipe. She's able to lay face down again, that she couldn't do for years.
I can't do that still.
Yes, because of her back pain. So we got it to where she can do all these things. She had a meniscus tear. She was supposed to get surgery. So she said, before you do the surgery, let me see my acupuncturist. I want to see if there's some things we can do with acupuncture first. It wasn't like we were opposed to doing the surgery, but we wanted to build her up in case she had to do the surgery. She had the least amount of side effects from after having surgery, medicines, being given pain medicines and stuff like that. She ended up not needing the surgery.
That's epic.
Right.
They were like, what are you doing? She's like, I'm seeing my acupuncturist and doing my physical therapy. Because within acupuncture, we don't do just acupuncture. We do cupping. You guys know about the cups, right? With the marks.
Yeah.
Why don't you tell
that looks like it hurts.
This is more of like introducing topics. So why don't you explain cupping quick? Because otherwise they'll look up weird stuff.
Yeah. So do you want me to show a cup?
Yes. Now I definitely do.
It's like, what sex move is that?
Do not look this up unless you put Chinese medicine, guys. Please, if you hear my voice, I am helping you out. Happy New Year's to you. I saved your life. If you just put cupping, you get other topics. Gross. Don't do it. Maybe. I don't know. Moving on. I'm sorry. Go ahead. Show this medical thing. You're welcome.
Sir.
I love when you're back. There he is.
So this is the cup.
So like a mason jar, but with like an actual good purpose.
Exactly. So, and it's soft. It's like rounded at the edges, so it's not harsh on the skin. So what we do with this cup is we inject the fire, and then it's close to the skin, and then we put it on the skin. What it does is
Is it hot and it's burning them? No, right?
It doesn't burn you. The fire that we put inside creates a vacuum. So the opposing cold air and hot air creates a suction cup. Creates suction. So
kind of like an egg in a cup. How do you get it in the cup kind of thing?
Exactly. So basically, it's this way of creating a different environment on the inside and from the opposing environment on the outside, creating this suction. It sucks on the skin and it pulls on the skin, and it creates this pulling of the chi and the blood to the surface. So that way you get the bruising. Kind of like
And that's what the Olympic people were doing, where they had all those suction little circles on their backs, right? Like the swimmer guy and stuff.
Yeah, Michael Phelps did it. He was like the one that spearheaded it. Yeah, so it creates this suction. It pulls chi and blood to the surface. So whether you have trauma, muscle soreness, physical injury, the swimmers were doing it to give them more mobility, so they could heal faster and it could loosen up their muscles. Because what happens is when you do this, your body starts healing itself. Your body starts sending blood to replace the blood that you're pulling to the surface. So you're having this sense of like a healing crisis. Oh my God, I brought all this blood to the surface. Now my body's going to heal itself. It's going to be stronger. But it also releases the muscle because it's pulling. So it's creating this pulling motion on the skin. And oh
my God, I so want to do this. It sounds like a dream come true. I feel like I'd fall asleep with a smile on my face. I'm so sorry.
And some people think it hurts because of the bruising. It doesn't hurt. It's just the suction part is what's caused the bruising because it's pulling on your skin. So naturally, you're going to have a reaction. And not everybody bruises. Some people don't bruise. We say the more stagnation someone has, the darker the bruise. And it goes away within a week. So if you're going to get married or you're going to go to the beach, don't do it.
Or do it a week ahead of time.
Has anyone had those glass things ever bust?
Not on the person. People just drop them on the floor.
Oh, okay.
The only time I've heard glass breaking is when you drop it on, because they're thick. They're not.
Okay.
It's not like
It's
a solid cup. Now we use that. We use that for like muscle tension, muscle soreness. I use it when people have immune disorders or they need to build white blood cells. I use cups in certain areas on the body to do that, to pull that blood to the surface, because the body is going to create more blood. So what's going to happen? Then more white blood cells are going to be created.
So my sister is starting chemotherapy and radiation. She's she's taking oral chemo through a pill, and she's going to get some radiation.
My mom did that, by the way, just so you know. So she kicked its ass. So go ahead.
What kind of treatment would you recommend for her to keep herself healthy? Well, I mean, with all this poison.
I think she should definitely. Well, let's say we say it is a poison, and Western medicine will say that too. But it's a necessary poison for what she's going through right now, right? Because you always want to keep that positive mentality, even when you're doing this to your body. Because when you tell your body, I'm putting a poison in it, it's going to react that way. It's going to react to it as a poison. Even if it is a poison, you say, what I'm going through right now is going to help me.
And necessary.
I'm like it, even though it's toxic and it's heavy on the body, I'm sending light to this thing. That's the first thing you want to do.
Okay.
Is change her mindfulness that even though I have to take these pills, they're light pills. They're powerful pills that I'm not going to have any reactions to. My body's going to know what to do with it. And anything that I don't need, it's just going to get rid of it. What she can do afterwards is I would suggest Moxa, which I'll show you what Moxa is.
Wait, how do you spell that?
Moxa.
Thank you.
Or it's Moxa or Moxibustion. So it's Moxaibustion. Moxibustion. And I'll explain what that is in a minute. That's another modality. And the reason why I recommend Moxa is because Moxa does give your body back yang. So, you know, the yin yang thing we talked about. Chinese have found a way to take mugwort, which is an herb. You know about, Loren, you know about mugwort, right?
Yes.
So, Jess, do you know about mugwort? We call it the dream herb. We'll tell you about that later, more in detail. Or we'll have like a thing where but mugwort, in the Wiccan and esoteric and metaphysical realms, or these realities, we use it as the dream herb. We drink it as a tea. We put it in our pillow. It's used for those purposes. Well, the Chinese found that, and the Japanese as well. Many of the Chinese, Japanese, Korean, they all found out that this herb, when you pick it it's June and July, the hottest time of the year. You pick it at that time of the year, then they crush it up and they create this.
I love the stuff he knows.
You see this stuff that's in there?
No, it's blurry.
I better crush it. Hold on.
Aw.
Can you see it now?
No, closer, because I see your face more than that.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, kind of.
So that's the plant, right? And it becomes this little like cottony powder, right?
Okay.
So they pick the plant, they dry it, they crush it, they create this powdery substance. What we do is because you pick it at the hottest time of the year, it has the most yang, the most sun energy.
Ooh.
So we burn that on the skin. It's not going to scar you because we in the United States, people don't want to be scarred. We're very vain here. We want to look beautiful. We're like, look at me, no scar. So we have ways of administering where it doesn't create a scar. This one is on a base. It's a little mini version of it, right? See, this is a bigger one.
Yeah.
This is a little mini version of it.
Oh, cool. Okay.
So the bottom of this is sticky. This is the one I prefer because this goes directly onto the skin. And in the bottom, you see that hole?
Yes.
It's almost like a very tiny Roman candle, but not.
Yeah, and so the heat comes down and the yang comes down through that hole onto the body. So after we're sitting here talking and the patient's like, oh my God, it's hot, get it off, get it off, get it off. So then that's when you take it off. So we give the body back yang through this herb. So it's a process of you smelling the herb and also the herb giving you the yang and the heat back into your body. Your body uses that to heal itself, to rebuild itself. So for her, that would be good because what it's going to do, it's going to help her recover. It's going to help her heal, and it's going to help her build white blood cells to fight off the disease. So she might want to look into moxibustion therapy with an acupuncturist as well. We also do it where there's non-contact because people do have diabetes and some people have neuropathy where they can't feel the heat. So you want to be careful because you can burn them. That little sticky thing, if you don't take it off when they tell you it's hot and they have neuropathy or nerve damage or numbness, they will not feel it. And it can burn.
That problem. You're right.
So use this version. This white part comes off and it looks like this.
Okay.
But it's a stick. You see this?
Okay.
It's a stick. So we would take it on the skin where we're trying to do the therapy, the treatment. If there's pain, there's a broken bone, or we trying to stimulate the immune system, and we would just go over the area and the person would feel the heat or the yang.
Like hover it, kind of. Almost like a long glue stick, it looks like.
We do the hovering, we do pecking where we do like this. There's different little methods they teach us in school. So these are just ways of building your immune system and, combating disease and even injury, even broken bones. If I injured anything on my body, I'm moxing it right away. If I have a twisted ankle or I had a fracture, I think on my toe, and I was doing mox on it and I was good.
That is awesome.
Mm-hmm. But you can also do it for people who are going through cancer therapy and recovery. So it's not just for like when you're sick or afterwards. You can do it during, like she can do this during the treatment just to build herself up. I would highly recommend she start taking Chinese medicine formulas.
Well, she'll have to make an appointment with you and we'll get her to you, I think. We only have a few minutes left to our hour, so I wanted to ask you one very important question. What is one thing you recommend that everybody do to help their immune system for this new year? Is there anything you recommend besides coming to your office in Soho and clicking the links and following you and making appointments and learning more from you? What's one thing you think we could possibly do to make sure we help our immune system besides the moxie?
Yeah. So things that you can do at home, I would recommend vitamin D, vitamin C, and zinc.
D as in dog?
Vitamin D as in dog, yeah. Because we live in New York. We're not out in the sun like people who are out in the Caribbean or in Florida. So we're a little bit vitamin D deficient at times. So these natural things, if it's not Chinese, because you can't, I wouldn't recommend you take a formula without coming to see me and making sure you're taking the right formula. Also, make sure you're like stress. Stress is a big thing. Like control stress. If you have to meditate. Meditating isn't just going, it's actually going outside, walking, looking at the trees, exercising, singing, dancing. These are ways to relieve stress. Laughing, singing, all these things that we take for granted. These are ways to help the immune system stay strong because you're reducing the cortisol levels in your body. When cortisol spikes, there's inflammation, there's disease. My favorite thing to do during Corona time is the ginger, honey, lemon, turmeric tea. I do this because I'm like, you know what, if I know I'm going to be, and you don't want to do this all the time. You want to know if you're feeling cold, you got a cold coming on, just make this tea, take it real quick, keep your body warm. These things push out pathogens, but they help push the pathogen out. So it's naturally just going to keep you healthy. You don't want to do these things in excess because remember, doing things in excess just damage you. They don't help you.
Now, is that tea like something you put together, or is it like something we're looking for specifically in a store that comes in a baggie? I'm double checking.
I would prefer you put it together because it's not that hard. You just buy ginger, you get lemons, you get honey, and you get turmeric pills, and you just, you know what I mean?
Yes. Okay.
It's like a hot toddy. I was raised in Jacksonville, Florida for a little bit, so we would drink hot toddies, but they would spike them.
Yes. I have rum right next to my tea bags, by the way.
Moonshine with your hot toddy. Here you go, baby.
I'm like, put a little honey, put a lot of rum. It's a good night, everyone.
Why am I seeing spirits?
I'm like, what are those beautiful little sparkles? Oh wait, I gotta go to bed. Oh man. All right, Jess, do you have any other questions? Because we have about 5 minutes left of our show tonight. We're gonna have you back on,
Yeah,
Okay.
absolutely. I don't have any more questions. I'm probably gonna think of them, obviously, when it's over. But this was so great. I'm starting to think I'm gonna go into Chinese medicine, and that's how I'm gonna start my journey. I got the psychology degree. I can't do anything with it because it's only a Bachelor of Science. So,
so far, though.
So what I'm going to do is I think I'm going to do the Chinese medicine and really go into the neuro-emotional technique, the NET, because that was like the thing that was burning, like the passion. I found passion again in my life after I discovered that existed. But it'll have to piggyback Chinese medicine.
Yeah,
I love that.
So I think that's what I'm going to do. I just find it so fascinating.
Right.
It's not something I think I'm going to get bored of.
And Jess, you don't have to just limit it to China. Once you start learning Chinese medicine, you can do what I do. I don't know if you saw this, but this is, let me see if I can, I want to show you guys. This is my office. So basically, I have like gongs and singing bowls and
nice.
And then on my table, let me show you. Loren, I don't think you know this. I have the amethyst biomat. So while a person is like laying down, they're laying on a bed of amethyst with infrared light.
Oh my God.
Yeah, I tell you guys, I pamper my patients because I love my patients. They mean everything to me. I didn't, when I took my Hippocratic oath as a Chinese medicine doctor, I took it very seriously. So
that's why I love you, dude. That's why I'm so honored I know you, quite frankly. For years, I've been like, yes, keep going, you're doing it. And every time I see you do stuff, I'm like, yeah. So that's one of the minute we started having guests on the show, I'm like, Jess, I know who you need to meet.
Yes.
I can finally pull them on something.
The one thing I struggle with on a daily basis is that I feel like I'm in a holding pattern and that my life has no purpose. And that this healing is going to help me understand that there's going to be something to wake up to every day. There's going to be something to look forward to. I'm going to be helping other people. And that's super purposeful. I'm sure you have that all the time.
That's a good thing because you know what, when you're questioning those things, you're questioning who you really are and you're honoring that. So there's no judgment in you saying, oh, my life has no purpose. No, it's like,
and it's not like, oh, my life. It's literally like I go to work, I come home to my cat. Like I'm not doing anything for this world, except existing.
And you know what? And it's in those times that you find out who you really are. Because you guys are divine goddesses that are awakening to help us in this reality bring back the balance. And you don't ever take that for granted. Don't ever take how powerful you are. Don't ever think just you have to just be this divine feminine goddess. Because you, like I said, you have that masculine energy. We all do. Use it because it's going to give you this moment, this time that you're in that brain thinking of what's next. Is the time that you discover, what is that Isis energy in me, the goddess Isis that I'm gonna sit here and give back to the world. Not Isis, the Taliban people, but Isis, the Egyptian goddess. How am I gonna use that to give back to the world so that way I'm making my footprint as far as like my incarnation and what did I come here to do and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Look, I think what we should do, Loren, is I should come out to Long Island. Oh yeah, definitely.
I actually did that. I did a meditation one day of what my soul looked like, and that's what came out. And
you look like you're having fun, girl.
I love it.
And I was like, yo, he said that, and that's been up on my wall of like trying to keep inspiration for not like hating on myself with penguins my niece gave me. But the minute you said it, I was like, you said goddess and Isis in the same statement, and there's an ankh in the picture. So I had to share that.
I love it. I want both of you guys to channel in that divine feminine energy and also the divine masculine, because you're gonna use it with people who you're gonna come in contact with. Loren, I think maybe I should come out to Long Island for both of you guys, and we should do like some work so we could have maybe come back on live and y'all can talk about your actual experience.
Yes, I love
medicine. Rather than just learning about it through talking through me, I come out and then you just needle you guys, treat you guys, and then we'll get back on and talk.
I love it.
Awesome. I love that.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
All right. Before we cancel this show for tonight, What are your plans for New Year's Eve? What pajamas have you decided to wear to your party in your living room?
Probably some workout leggings and a shirt. I am so unfancy.
I mean, are you either of you have plans at all, or are you doing your own thing in the house?
I was supposed to be in Panama, and then they went under quarantine, and so I was like, okay, I'll still go. And then they went on a deeper quarantine, and so I'm like, you know what, I'm not gonna go. And thank God the airline said I have a year to do it. I don't know. I kind of want to go. I'm thinking of maybe going to Aruba for like a few days, and like,
We just came from there.
how was it?
Yeah, a couple months ago, right? Like you're gonna have to get all your that COVID stuff, and you got to like show them that you're clear and whatnot. But
Okay.
it's great there. I mean, you might have to use your mask,
That's
but
fine.
yeah, but great time, great time.
Yeah.
Well, guys, I am telling everyone that I am manifesting an incredible year 2021 filled with blessings, love, and success for all of us.
Yeah.
Until our new year, I want everyone to stay safe, stay healthy, think about everything Dr. Juan Torres told us today.
Thank you so much.
And make sure you come back next Tuesday when we'll have another episode and we'll delve in more into interesting topics. Thank you once again, Juan. It's been amazing having you on.
Thank you for having me.
Thank
Happy
you.
New Year.